Hey, remember that one time PC gamers everywhere got just super upset about GPU cryptocurrency mining? Oh wait, no, that's every day. Bazinga! Salty gamer jokes are the best. Seriously though, the recent GPU stock crisis primarily caused by miners snatching up all of the cards they could find was really lame. I wouldn't blame anyone who tried to build a new system topped off with a decent semi-affordable GPU in the last few months for being at least a little ticked off. Finding any capable newer used graphics card at anything less than a completely ludicrous price was dang near impossible if you were able to find it in stock at all, which you usually couldn't. But even though miners were pretty much solely to blame for the situation when the mining craze initially kicked off earlier this year, it could be argued that there were steps manufacturers could have done to mitigate their impact. One, they could have, not sold to miners directly and continued through the retail channels, but the most popular and highly demanded step was to release mining-specific and mining-optimized versions of the most popular cards being targeted by miners. Well, it took a good long time, and the mining bubble has kinda since deflated a bit, but some manufacturers did eventually start producing cards specifically aimed at miners. But are they worth picking up for mining over the regular cards? Do they offer enough of a hash rate improvement, if any, to make them worthwhile? Well, let's take a look. The focus of this particular hard-hitting expose is on the two RX 580 4GB cards we have in the office, namely ASUS's gamer-oriented dual RX 580 4GB and Gigabyte's RX 580 gaming 4GB MI, which is being marketed towards cryptocurrency miners. At their core, both versions of the card seem essentially the same, other than their cooling solutions and shrouds, obviously. The only initially perceptible difference is that the ASUS's offering has a higher base and boost clock of 1360 and 1380 MHz compared to Gigabyte's 1340 and 1355 MHz respectively. Actually, that's not true. The ASUS card also comes in a nice little retail box like you'd expect, whereas the Gigabyte card literally just comes in an anti-static bag. And that's it. I mean, it did come in the box that it was shipped in, but there's no fancy packaging. Wait! Hold on a second, Brett, you say? You said we were looking at a mining card, right? Then why the falafel does the Gigabyte card have all of the standard display outputs? Good question, random interneter. The answer is, I don't know. This is definitely the mining variant of Gigabyte's RX 580, but they, for some reason, have included display outs, which makes me super skeptical about what the heck Gigabyte is trying to pull with their mining cards, because they look exactly like the gaming cards. Another big difference between the two cards that we have, other than the pricing of course, is that the ASUS card comes with the usual 3-year warranty, while the Gigabyte card is only covered for a paltry 3 months. That's right, 3 months. That's completely ridiculous no matter how you slice it. I know some of you may be thinking that maybe the mining card is a whole lot cheaper than non-mining cards. Surely that would make the short warranty less ludicrous, right? Well, yes it would. Unfortunately, I haven't found that to be the case. I wasn't able to find US pricing online for Gigabyte's 580 mining card, so I'll be going off converted South African pricing. The regular non-mining version of the same Gigabyte card, which comes with the full 3-year warranty, higher core clock speed, and luckily full retail packaging, currently goes for 4,996 Rand, which at the time of filming equates to $357. The mining version, without all of that non-essential nonsense, currently retails for 4,550 Rand, which comes out to $325. I mean, sure, a $32 discount is nothing to scoff at, but is it really worth losing out on a full warranty? I'd reckon that it's not, especially given that your GPU's fans wouldn't be likely to die in the first 3 months, but rather thereafter. So while the price markup is roughly $32 now, what it would effectively come out to, if your GPU fails 6 months into you mining, is you're actually out 10 times that amount for the full cost of the mining GPU, whereas you can RMA the full retail card and only miss out on a few days of gobbling up those delectable hash rates. And again, I know US pricing isn't anything like the marked up prices we've seen here in South Africa, but I can't imagine that the difference in pricing would be all that much different elsewhere. But hey, maybe the card is so well optimized for mining that it makes you forget about all of that. Well, we'll look into that next, but first I decided to run it through our usual gaming test to see whether its gaming performance is on par with other RX 580s, or at least on par with the gamer-focused ASUS dual RX 580, especially since we decided to clock both of the cards to the same speed of 1355 MHz. At 1080p, the highest possible quality presets, low anti-aliasing, and DX12, the dual 580 came out on top in every game tested. The mining 580 was by no means blown out of the water, only falling behind by less than 2 frames per second almost across the board. The loss by the mining 580 is too consistent across every game to only be explained as margin of error, with that 2 FPS lower performance indicating that the card is indeed slightly worse as a gaming card. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get to the whole reason for this card's existence. Cryptocurrency mining. Does this particular mining-oriented RX 580 mine significantly better than a regular RX 580 to justify all of its downfall? No. So first, I benchmarked both cards at stock settings with AMD's mining-specific drivers installed. This should be a good indicator of whether the mining card is actually optimized straight out of the box. I personally didn't expect a whole lot, and I'm glad I didn't. The gaming 580 routinely mustered better hash rates than its mining counterpart, and even grabbed the win in 13 of the 15 benchmarks performed, 1 or 2 of them by a large margin. Overall, while both cards performed relatively similarly in the majority of the benchmarks, the gaming card shines as the clear winner. But hey, maybe the mining card is better than the gaming card when they are both optimized to the max. So I decided to find that out. First, I headed into the BIOS settings for both cards to tighten up their memory timings a bit, which has historically resulted in massive gains in cryptocurrency mining. You can learn about all of that in my how-to guide on BIOS flashing right there. Next, I used Wattman to tweak overclocking settings. These settings include dropping max core clock speed to 1100 MHz, dropping core voltage to 865, upping memory clock speeds to 2025, while also increasing memory voltage to 1050, and increasing minimum and maximum fan speed. I've applied these tweaks to great success on the gaming 580 before, and they once again provided a nice hash rate boost in this round of testing. As you'll be able to see, the regular 580 once again comes out victorious overall, even after my own manual observations of the mining 580's hash rates. Dagger Hashimoto and dual dagger Hashimoto algorithms just plain ran better on the non-mining card. Granted, in most cases, it's not a whole lot better, but even a difference of 1 additional hash is significant when you're dealing with mining. While the mining 580 is clearly inferior when it comes to Ethereum mining, it almost makes up for it with its CryptoMinite performance, where it scored marginally higher than the gaming card. Not enough to make a real difference, obviously, but worth the mention. Okay, so the Gigabyte mining card isn't worth the price, is an inferior gaming card and a disappointing mining card, but as a final attempt to redeem the card a little, let's look at power draw. Compared to the gaming version of the same Gigabyte card, the mining version has its LED lighting completely ripped out, presumably in an attempt to reduce power consumption. My Ryzen 1700 system with the Asus card installed drew a maximum of 310 watts, while the mining 580 drew 13 watts less, coming in at 297 watts total. Now, it's up to you whether you think losing out on better cooling and that sweet, sweet RGB glory is worth such an insignificant power draw advantage. Actually, you know what? No, I'm done. I've investigated every aspect of this mining card, and it's 100% certified bullcrap. Complete shenanigans, total bamboozles, absolute monkey business. I gave my mining 580 every possible opportunity to prove that it has at least half a leg up over non-mining versions, and it not only disappointed, it did so spectacularly. But it's not just this specific card, but mining-focused graphics cards in general. No matter what the smooth talking marketing departments would like you to believe, it looks like mining cards exist only because their makers want to grab some extra cash while adding very little to no value for miners and to cover their own butts by not having to fulfill a full warranty period. Just about every benchmark I've seen online for either AMD's mining edition cards or Nvidia's P106 and P104 mining cards showed similar results to their non-mining variants. We're talking a maximum difference of less than half a mega hash overall. Not only that, but power draw and cooling across the board don't seem to be improved by much, if at all, either. What's even worse is that most of the other mining cards I've seen either ship with no display outputs at all, or at best a single DVI connector. This can be seen as a way to improve cooling performance since the I/O area of the card is less obstructed, but in return you have a card that's almost impossible to resell once it stops being profitable. The only people who would buy used mining cards without display ports are other miners, and even then you need a lot of luck to sell them at a good price. This is one of the areas where Gigabyte's offering is at least a little less stupid since it has a full range of ports. But honestly, I can't believe the audacity of certain companies producing mining-specific graphics cards while doing pretty much nothing to improve their actual mining performance. In the case of the Gigabyte Mining 580, it's honestly the best case scenario for picking up a mining GPU because it's not actually a mining card. You pay a bit less to get a similar card in performance that provides no additional benefit, but at least has the ability to be a normal gaming graphics card if the mining bubble deflates even more, or if the difficulty spikes to the point where it's no longer profitable. That 3-month warranty is obviously the worst part about this GPU, and isn't worth it in my mind for gamers or miners alike. The price difference, at least right now, of the general set of mining cards isn't low enough to only receive 10 to 25% of the actual warranty period. If this graphics card was at least 6 months or even 1 year, as many other mining cards can be, it's at least a slightly easier conversation to have, but even with mining, the chances of your card going out in 3 months is super minimal. So paying extra to be able to replace your card if it goes out after a year is, in my opinion, worth it, because the alternative is you spend more on GPUs overall with the lower warranties. I just honestly can't realistically recommend mining cards to anyone. It's hard to see their value. And to be fair to the vendors, they can't ship these cards at a loss, so there's only so low they can go on actual pricing to put them below a gaming card, because the VRAM, PCB, cooler, GPU core, etc., they all cost money. The manufacturers appear to just be trying to limit the costs on their own pockets of RMAs and not actually selling things that are mining specific. If the card shipped with at least tighter memory timing so you don't have to flash the BIOS, that would at least, in my mind, give it enough of a benefit over standard gaming cards to be worth the lower warranty and actually make it a mining card. But as it stands now, these GPUs are just either gaming cards, low warranty edition, or expensive paperweights once the mining bubble bursts editions. But whether you decide to pick up a mining edition card because you just don't want to spend the extra cash now, or you want to pick up a higher warranty GPU, Wootware should be your go-to computer e-tailer if you're in South Africa. With fantastic pricing on a vast selection of products, no hassle custom-built PCs, and a world-class customer support team, shopping with Wootware will give you absolute peace of mind. So if you're in South Africa, head on over to wootware.co.za to begin wooting up your PC. The link will be in the video description. Alright, we're going to wrap this video up there. What do you all think of mining cards? Have you purchased any yourself? Are you experiencing different results than what we saw and what other users are reporting? Do you think 6 months warranty is enough for the lower price, or do you think it still needs to be a bit higher? Let me know what your thoughts are either down in the comments or over on Twitter. I am at UFDisciple. Be sure to smash that like button if you enjoyed this examination of a mining GPU. Subscribe to stay up to date on all of our tech-related content. And if you're looking to support us here at UFDisciple, you can use our Amazon affiliate code down in the video description to pick up parts for your mining or gaming rig if you're in the US. It won't cost you a cent, but we get a small kickback that helps us out a lot. Anyways, I'm Brett with the UFDisciple channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Cheers. I'm wondering, so should we like say something like, if this video gets over 100,000 views, we're gonna smash the mining card with the pickaxe. Or like, if we can get 10,000 likes, like we'll take the pickaxe and we'll actually destroy it, right? Should we do that? Like just.
I think if you're gonna do something like that, it has to be closer to the start of the video.
Yeah, probably.
Because like people start popping off.
No, that's right. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. That'd be a cool video to see a pickaxe destroy a mining card. But then people would be super angry because they'd be like, you could have at least given it to me.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Actually, we're going to have to start ignoring those people.
It's true.